right, man, let's talk about the Lions preseason game. I didn't really watch the second half. Power still out. Power was out yesterday, so I went to my mom's crib. But let's kind of talk about what I did see, man. It was the talk of the town about Panisa Will too. How he gave up on the sack and all that. But but yeah, man, let's talk about it. You got Detroit Lions talk playlist. Uh, this guy, I guess, is going to post game playlist. I don't know. But when the season starts, we'll be adding stuff to the post game playlist and stuff. But yeah, first thing I seen, one of the first things I see, let's talk about offense, is Goff almost, he didn't read the high low or whatever route that was, the little crossing route or whatever. He almost threw a pick, but that was like the worst for Goff. Goff was accurate throwing across the middle. He was accurate. I think he threw a what was that to Tyrell Crosby? Maybe a out. I think he might throw a comeback to Tyrell or something. I mean, Saint Amon, Rob Brown, whatever his name is, he did good. But yeah, Jared Goff. Other than that bad first pass, man, Jared Goff looked good. I mean, the throw. I think he threw another throw on the left sideline. I think it was to Williams too. Maybe it was to Williams or somebody else. To complete a third down, and he threw a duck. But people forget Peyton Manning used to throw ducks all the way down the field. His ball used to 504 boy, wobble, let me see you shake it. Ooh, drop it. Ooh, make it, remember, you know that song? But he was accurate yesterday, whether a spiral, a duck, he was accurate, he was quick, he was decisive, he was sharp, his arm looked pretty good. So Jared Goff looked good. Even the corner throw he threw in the red zone to Williams, and the DB did a great job of breaking up. That was a great ball. That was just a great play by the cornerback. So, I mean, he looked sharp yesterday. He looked accurate. His feet looked good. He looked pretty mobile, more mobile than I thought yesterday. So, Jared Goff looked good, but then the ugly and the bad, or just pure ugly, early on with Jamal Williams, they still can't run the ball. You know, I seen when Jamal Williams got the ball early, he couldn't even basically break out the backfield. So they still having issues running the ball too, and then the offensive line gave up that sack. It was Panisa Will. They got a little pressure on Jared Goff a couple of times, and Panisa Will was supposed to be a great addition. But, you know, just talking about Sewell for a minute, this dude ain't played football in 2 years. You know, he ain't played, football, and people say he gave up on the play. He didn't give up on that play. He just got beat around the edge, and Jared Goff got sacked. But I expected there to be growing pains and learning pains there just because he ain't played in a couple years. So I knew him and Levi out of Washington, it was going to take some time, because they didn't play last year, for them to get right. But other than that, Sewell, people gotta understand, it's going to be a learning curve for Sewell. It's going to take some time, but they can't continue to afford many sacks like that, or Jared Goff will make it through the season. Like, it may be smarter, and I think they said on draft day this is what they should do. Is put Sewell on the inside and let Hightower play on the right tackle. And then, kind of like what Quinn Trisha did with Frank Ragnow. Ragnow played guard the first year, then he went to center. I think it's imperative for them to maybe do that with Sewell, because Sewell, somebody just blowing their horn this morning. It's imperative for Sewell to get his feet wet because he didn't play football in a couple years. People forgetting that he didn't play football all last season, so it's been 2 years before he played live action football. So it might benefit them sliding him on the inside early for the first season, then playing him on the edge. But like I said, if he don't work out, it's gonna be a lot to talk about. And Justin Fields work out or Mac Jones work out, it's gonna be a lot of talk about how they missed on this one. But I think it's still too early. NFL is a totally different beast in the NCAA, Pac-12, big SEC. So it's gonna take some time for him to learn to play the left tackle position. But But this the issue why you got to take training camp for the Lions for a grain of salt, because you got bums beating up on bums. I hate to say it that way. You got bums, you got lower class players that can't play beating up on other lower class players. So when they play live action, you see the real bust. Well, I'm not concerned about that, but what did concern me was the running game. The running game is what did concern me. Other than Reynolds, just early on, Reynolds had a great job. He just got signed, but other than Reynolds, man, it just seemed like I don't know what it is with they running. It just seemed like people come to Detroit and forget how to run, or and Jamal Williams looked very slow out the backfield. A couple other running backs looked very slow out the backfield. It just seemed like they don't have explosiveness, or they can't get started, or even Williams, I said when he got the ball, he just looked hella slow. That time he got the ball and then break it out the backfield to basically break the line of scrimmage. But yeah, there's something about their backs. Yeah, but the line also gonna need some time to gel and time to mesh. You know, they gonna need some time to gel and time to mesh. People gotta understand it's not gonna come together at once. But it was a couple. It was, other than that play, maybe I don't know if he got sacked again. But other than that play, Jared Goff, he had a clean pocket. You know, even that time in the red zone when the play broke down on third down, he had to scramble for a first down. You know, he had time. Let's keep it real. He had time. So other than Sewell giving up that sack, which is gonna happen, he's a rookie. He ain't played live football in 2 years. Jared Goff had time. He had plenty of time. So my concern wasn't the passing game, the pass blocking game. I think when Stafford was here, he had great pass blocking until the injury stepped in. But my issue has always been Elias' inability to run block. You know, and that's where Sewell is supposed to come in and anchor the right tackle position. So, honestly, man, that's something that they need to address ASAP. Is the running game, man. And what I would say is, man, they need to run behind the fullback. Need to reset the run game, run behind the fullback, and get these running backs going downhill. But Jamal Williams looked hella slow in the backfield yesterday. But when you penetrate, it's hard to get a running back going. So I think that's probably the second biggest storyline of yesterday. Is that they got to find a way to get a run game where they get Williams and Swift. I know Swift didn't play yesterday downhill. But I was surprised Williams played yesterday, but he looks super stupid slow. So I just think it's Detroit, man. I think Detroit just need, I don't know. If Dan Campbell don't come run the ball, you guys, Jared Goff dropping back 10, 20 times, 50, 25 times a game, they may have the number one pick next year. They may very well be the number one pick next year. So they got to figure out that run shit. And if Reynolds going to be the guy, he the one that can get downhill. I know that's versus second, third team, but we'll see. But let's talk about the defense. And I was not impressed, and I'm exclusively talk about the front seven. I was not impressed. It looked like the same shit from last year with Matt Patricia. You know, Devin Singletary running through them like they wet Charmin, like they wet Family Dollar tissue, and they did not have great gap discipline up front. They did not have great camaraderie. They just looked like they did last year. 4-3, 3-4, 3-4 over, 3-4 under, 4-3 over under. You know, they did not look good yesterday stopping the run. And they stopped the run a couple times, you know, but then they gave up big runs. And honestly, man, they look like the same defense front seven from last year. No matter who started, they looked terrible yesterday. They looked terrible. They need to shuffle the lineup. I don't know what to say, but they looked terrible. They was giving, man, the dude was running 5 yards clean without getting touched. So, like I said before, we could talk about Matt Patricia not being a good coach, but another regime come in and they do the same shit, man. We need to start. We need to start. My bad, man. I had to politic with my neighbor, but yeah, the front seven would bother me, man. Gap integrity, gap discipline, and they just ran right up the throat. It wasn't like they run on the edge, and it was up to the defensive end to stop the run. But a lot of times they put their defensive end, they put their hand in the dirt, so it looked like it's still a 4-3. But yeah, they just need to work on gap discipline on the front three in a job. They look terrible. They let the same lines from last year, even though the front seven was probably totally different. I'm not sure who started. I think Aline was nose tackle. I don't know what it is with the Lions. To be honest, I don't know what it is, man. It looked like the same-ish from last year. Trubisky was the quarterback, hand the ball off. Singletary run 5 yards without being touched. So, I mean, they got a lot of work to do, man, because I think if this shit go terribly wrong, 1, 2 wins, 3 games win minimum, I think Dan Campbell's staff can be the fuck up out of here. So it's just like some type of like dark cloud over the Lions organization where it just, I don't know what it is, man. I don't know what it is, but you know, you still can't run the ball. You can't be a game management team. You can't run the ball. They had success throwing the ball yesterday, but you can't stop the run and run the ball, man. Ain't gonna be no success for the Lions. They have to be able to line up and run the ball down somebody's throat. And if I would like to see Reynolds start next game, see what he can do. I know he just got with the team, but their running backs look so they just really can't get started. Like Williams tiptoeing in the backfield, and they got to find a way to impose their will. They got to find a way. And I don't know if High Tie ain't doing the job or whatever, but that first play they threw to Williams, he was supposed to go right. He just couldn't get going. But that defense, man, you ain't got to worry about the secondary. If people going to run on you like that, you ain't got to worry about the secondary. And then you don't want to put 8 in the box to get torched on the back end, so they got to work on them motherfuckers would be in the game. They would be the defensive, everybody but quarterbacks and receivers will be at practice, and cornerbacks and safeties will be on practice today. Starters. I let the backups go home. I want the front seven. I want the line here. Positional drills can go. Hawkinson, receivers, quarterback. Other than running backs, line, front seven, I want them in practice today. We gonna work on some techniques, gap discipline. But hey, like I said before, this was nothing to make me think that they gonna be any less than I thought they were this year anymore. So my opinion, but I did like what Goff did, and that gave us some hope. Check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist. Don't forget me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. You can reach out if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request. All the social media subscription. Twitter's the fastest way. The Facebook, the Instagram, Facebook group link there as well too. We ain't got a group, Facebook group. Financial donation, Cash App, CJ Good 313, Venmo, CJ Good 313, PayPal link description. Let me know what you think in the comment section. One time for the one time Mercy Sports Talk. Peace.